What is going on, everybody? My name is Brian and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to go through setting up this Hercules Table Saw. Now this is not going to be a review. We're not going to test this out today. All I'm going to do is just try to show people that maybe bought this how to set this thing up and get it ready to go. If you're interested in a review about this table saw, then make sure you subscribe to my channel because there will be a review coming up on this table saw. But first things first, this does have a little bit of weight to it, so you may not be able to lift this by yourself. I think they claim it's about 64 pounds, so it may be a little bit heavy for you. Now, this doesn't come with any type of stand or anything, so you may want to think about that when you're purchasing this. They do sell stands, not for this. Unfortunately, for some reason, they don't have a table saw stand. But you can make your own or set it up on whatever. You just want to make sure wherever you're using this at is comfortable for you, not somewhere where you could put yourself in danger, because especially when you're ripping like big sheets of plywood, they're pretty big, they're awkward. So these things are dangerous. So first things first, man, safety. Always consider safety. If you're not familiar with or comfortable with using these, then make sure you go through and try to learn before you just jump straight into it. So as we see, this already comes pretty much assembled. There's only a few things that you have to put together. The first thing that I did, I don't know what order you want to go in. I don't think there's any specific order you have to go in, but I just put my rip fence on. To put that on, it's really simple. You'll see there's a lever on the fence. You simply pull that lever up, and that enables you to have enough room to just set this on just like this and set down, and it's installed. Now you can move this back and forth depending on what your cut's going to be, which we could get into at a different time, but you'll see that there's a ruler here and that you can use that to guide you on what your measurement's going to be when you're cutting something. But once you have it set to where you want it, you just simply press this lever down and you're good to go. Feels pretty solid. I have had this apart messing with it. I haven't tested it yet, but we are going to test that. But the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put on your wheel that adjusts the height of your blade. It does not come installed. It comes in a box. You pull it out of the box. There's a little piece of tape that holds a set screw in. Be careful not to lose the screw. I mean, obviously it wouldn't be a big deal. You could probably use any screw that's of the right size, but all you do is pull that screw loose and you're going to slide your wheel onto the shaft. And once you have it onto the shaft, you're going to line it up to the hole and you're just going to screw the screw in. Make sure the screw's tight and make sure that you have that installed correctly. You don't want it to pop loose with any vibrations or anything, but it's pretty simple to do. The next thing that you have to do is you have to adjust your riveting knife on this. Now to do that, you need to pull your table insert out. It's really simple to pull this out. You'll see a little knob here. It's either locked or unlocked. So you push it to the unlock spot and you just simply put your finger in the finger hole and it pulls right up, no problem. Now you're gonna wanna take your wheel and raise this blade all the way to the top. Fortunately, this does come with a blade and the blade is already installed, but if you do have to change the blade on this, it's pretty simple to change one of these. One thing you need to do is just pay attention to the way that you pull this off. Pay attention to all the washers that come off, the order they come off in, and you shouldn't have any problem putting this back in. But before you operate this, make sure that your nut is tight and make sure that the blade is secure. Just simply give it a wiggle and you can take the wrench that comes with this and just see if it's tight or not. The wrench is located on the side. It's just got a little wing nut that holds the wrench on. You pull the wing nut off, then you pull your wrench off. Now, if you were to lose this wrench, it wouldn't be the end of the world. You know, any wrench will work. And if you don't even want to use this wrench, you don't have to. You could just simply use a 15/16 wrench to take this nut off. If you don't want to use this little thin, cheap wrench, I'm just going to use a real wrench and I'm just going to make sure that this is tight. Now you may notice that the blade just spins freely. To tighten this up, you do have to pull this lever up on the side. And while you have the lever held all the way up, you're going to just give this a little turn, make sure that's tight. Doesn't have to be crazy tight, but it does have to be tight. And you're good to go. Now, One thing you want to make sure is that you have these blades pointed in the correct direction. As you can see, the blades should be pointed towards you if you're looking at the table saw from the front where the Hercules name is and where all your adjustments are, whether it be your bevel and your blade height wheel. All of that is the front of the table saw. So the blade should be pointed towards you so that when it's running, it's cutting into you when you're pushing into it. If you turned it the other way, it's not going to work good for you. So make sure you got the blade turned right. Okay, next thing that you want to do is you need to adjust your riveting knife. And the riveting knife is this little black piece that you see right here. It has 3 positions. The positions are for if you're cutting through material or if you're just, say, notching something out, then you're going to want to adjust this according to what you're doing. I'm going to be cutting all the way through right now, so you need to adjust this to where it's in the all the way up position because it doesn't come that way, so make sure you adjust it. All you do is pull this lever up, it'll loosen this up. Then you have to push out on this, and once you have that out, you'll be able to slide this up or down freely, and to get it all the way to the top, pull it all the way up, and you'll feel it lock into place. Once it's up there, you simply push the lever back down, and now you're ready to go. We're gonna put our table insert back in before we go on. We're gonna install the rest of this, make sure we lock this. Next thing we're gonna do is install our kickback poles, and these are really simple to install as well. You're gonna see some slots and a couple holes on this riveting knife. So you're gonna wanna take this kickback pole, and you're gonna see a little knob here. Pull that out, and it's spring loaded. So hold it out, and once you get it lined up with the top hole, you'll see it click into place. Now this is secure. To make sure it's secure, just pull. If it doesn't come loose, you did right. It's good. And next is going to be your blade guards. Do you need to install these? You probably should. You don't have to. I mean, the thing's going to function. It's going to function without these kickback poles too, but these are just safety measures that you should probably do, especially if you're unfamiliar with these. Definitely just start off using these guards, and I probably won't use them very often, but that's just because I'm not a very smart man. So be smarter than me and use them. But to install these, it's pretty simple. You're gonna see 2 little black rubber caps on the end of this bar, and they're being pulled by 2 springs. So you just simply push it all the way open, away from the direction that it's originally set in, and you're gonna just slide this right on top, and you're gonna see this little notch here, and that's where your bar is gonna go, is in that notch. And once you have it in the notch, it should click right into place. And you'll see that there's a slot cut on the back of the guard, and that's to allow it to slide over your riveting knife. So when all is said and done, this should be slid over top of the riveting knife, and the bar should be securely in the notch. And once again, to test that, just simply pick up on it. If it doesn't come loose, then you're good to go. Okay, and that's all the pieces that you have to assemble. The rest of it's already assembled. And the only thing you're gonna have left is this miter gauge, and we can talk about what that does later if you guys want to, if somebody's interested in how to use this maybe later on. And we'll also talk about it when I do my review. And also, you're gonna have this push stick. And this is just simply used to push your material through to keep your hand away from the blade. And there's one other thing here. There's a little lever here on the underneath the right side. If you're facing the correct direction on the table saw, you pull that lever towards you. Loosen up your fence, and you're gonna be able to slide this now out. And this gives you the ability to be able to cut 2-foot sections. So like if you want to rip a piece of 4x8 plywood in half. So this gives you the ability to be able to do that safely. You could, if you had a sheet of plywood or something and you needed to rip more than 2 foot, then obviously you could just cut off the short end if you was able to, but it would be dangerous to do that. So you'd have to be really careful and use some help. That's another thing when you're using this. If you have the option, especially when you're doing a big sheet of plywood or something, get somebody to help you if you can, because when you're pushing something like that, there's not much surface area that this is setting on. So you're going to have a lot of the material hanging off on the other end. And you could try to flip around and get to the other side and pull it, which would probably be what I would do if I was in the situation ripping something like that by myself. But if you have the ability, try to get somebody to help you. And it'll only take a second. You know, everybody's got friends or an old lady. And if you don't, man, like I said, you can just flip around and try to pull it. It's a little bit more dangerous, but you can do it. So let's talk about why I bought this. Like I said, there are a couple videos about this. And, you know, I don't trust the video that was out there. The main one that was out there, as a lot of people know. But I still felt like this looked pretty heavy duty to me. Now, the price of this, they're bringing this in at $299.99. They do have a coupon, though, that takes it down to $249.99, but it only comes with your little 90-day warranty that your Harbor Freight stuff's going to come with. You could have bought another warranty for $40, $50 more for 2 years, but I'm not going to spend that, because once you factor that into it, like, you're looking at paying the same price for a DeWalt or anything else that you're getting a warranty with already. So if you factor that in, man, these things lose their appeal. I think that if you want to play Russian roulette, which is what I'm playing by not getting a warranty with this and trying to save myself, as of right now, I could get the same similar DeWalt for $330. So I saved myself $80. But like I said, I'm playing Russian roulette. If something goes wrong, I may be up the creek, as they say. But overall, I think that the abilities of this is going to be right on par with what I need it to. I don't have much woodworking tools, so I'm actually in the process of purchasing this, obviously, as you see, but I'm also going to be purchasing a miter saw. If you have any recommendations for miter saws, leave them in the comments. I got a good idea which one I'm going to go with, but I want to just know what you guys think about miter saws. And when it comes to the Hercules miter saw, they want $350 for that. And for $350, you can get a good name brand miter saw that does the same thing with a warranty. So if you tack on another $50 on top of the $350, you're looking at $400 for that miter saw. That miter saw is not worth $400, man. It's not worth $400. It's not worth $350 in my opinion. I think that it should be regularly $299, and then you should be able to get it for $250. But what do I know, man? It's just my opinion. But overall, I think it feels pretty good. I think it's pretty heavy duty as far as I can tell by looking at it. If you want to see a review on this, man, make sure you subscribe to my channel, because like I said, I am going to be doing a review on this. We're going to be putting this thing to work. So we're going to make sure that this is good. And that way you might not have to waste your money like maybe I've wasted my money. Hopefully not. We'll see. Hopefully this thing is nice. I like the looks of it. I like the color scheme. I like the feel of it. I like the cage that they have around this. And overall, looks pretty good. We'll see. Make sure you stick around. Make sure you subscribe. And I appreciate y'all watching. So till next time, stay real.